The system interface shows up, clearly displaying a warning that an unauthorized entity is trying to enter the area. Jaehyun stands in place, his eyes fixed on the enormous Cyclops in front of him. It towers above the defenders, and everyone nearby focuses their attacks on its large eye. The Cyclops lets out a loud cry as it struggles to shield its vulnerable eye with its massive hands. Jaehyun observes the situation carefully. He understands that while they are able to block the monster for now, they cannot afford to be hit too many times. A single successful attack from the Cyclops could destroy the barrier and lead to disaster. Knowing this, Jaehyun activates a skill called Invisible Hand. The skill manifests suddenly, and it is huge in size. This powerful ability is one that Jaehyun unlocked by spending his saved skill points, and he intends to use it in case the battle turns worse. At the same time, the Cyclops lifts its heavy fist high into the air and brings it down with great force onto the protective barrier. The barrier holds, still strong enough to withstand the powerful strike. The people do not stop their attacks. They continue to fire at the monster with all their weapons. Jaehyun keeps watching closely. He starts to think that their efforts are actually working. The mouse bombs and the citizen handguns are gradually causing damage to the Cyclops. He believes that if they continue at this pace, they may be able to bring the creature down. However, he also knows that they will need a powerful and critical blow to truly finish it off. Just then, something unexpected happens. A lance suddenly appears and shoots through the air at incredible speed. It pierces the body of the Cyclops with great force. Jaehyun gives a small smirk because he recognizes this attack. It is the work of Dongan, which means that the rest of the party has finally arrived on the scene. Jaehyun mentally puts his trust in Dongan. He quickly summons several standard-issue spears for him to use. Dongan grabs the spears and hurls them at the Cyclops one after another. The Cyclops, now aware of the threat, tries to protect itself by crossing its arms over its body. At the same time, the female archer joins the fight and gives support from a distance. She fires her arrows at the Cyclops, adding more pressure to the monster as the battle continues. Meanwhile, the system delivers another notification. It announces that the level of Samjako, the legendary three-legged crow, has increased. Along with this, the system also reports that general solar efficiency has now risen by 100% and has reached the maximum possible level. Because of this, the power of the sun is being released, and Samjako inherits a part of the strength of the guardian beast. Its basic fire magic has now evolved into intermediate fire magic. The system also notes that Samjako has detected an enemy inside the territory and is requesting permission to release its full power. Jaehyun realizes that the enemy it speaks of must be the Cyclops. Even so, he finds himself wondering what such a small creature like Samjako can truly do in a situation like this. Despite his doubts, he gives his approval. As soon as he agrees, the system gives him another update. It informs him that the cost of activating this power will be 300 million won. This amount shocks Jaehyun completely. He never expected the price to be that high, and the number nearly takes his breath away. At the same time, the process has already begun. Beams of golden solar energy begin to gather, coming down from the solar panels positioned around the area. The energy flows together and forms into a glowing solar orb in the sky. Samjako, the three-legged crow, changes its form as it begins to grow in size, becoming larger and more majestic. The crow absorbs the gathered solar energy and then unleashes it all at once. A thick, blinding beam of solar power bursts out from the orb, shooting straight at the Cyclops. The beam pierces the monster's body and comes out through the other side, leaving a massive, burning hole. The Cyclops staggers, terribly wounded and unable to recover. Dongan stands still, watching the scene unfold in complete silence, his face frozen with shock at the crow's overwhelming power. Not long after, Oh Eonju appears in her transformed state as a Berbere large, powerful beast. She charges forward without hesitation and slams into the Cyclops, delivering the final blow. The enormous creature collapses and finally goes still. At that moment, the system interface appears in the air and shows an update. It confirms that the Cyclops has been successfully hunted by the team. As a result, a huge amount of experience points has been awarded. The system states that nearly 32 billion won has been deposited directly into the Absolute One's home wallet. Alongside this, several skill levels have increased significantly. Jaehyun is seen nearby as a sudden wave of pain flows through his body. Lightning crackles around him as his body reacts to the overwhelming energy. The system immediately congratulates him and announces that he has now declared the entire apartment complex 1 as a designated home haven. Because of this, a construction subsidy of 100 billion won has been successfully transferred to him. Overwhelmed, Jaehyun falls to his knees, breathing heavily as the energy settles. Samjako flies down and lands gently in front of him. It has now returned to its normal, smaller size. Jaehyun looks at the crow. Though confused about why it spent 300 million won on its own to release such a powerful attack, he cannot deny that the final hit was a major success. He pats Samjako on the head, silently acknowledging the crow's achievement and expressing approval for a job well done. Jaehyun begins to realize something more. Within the newly created home haven, certain activities are now restricted, but the value of what just happened is undeniable. He reflects that spending 300 million won has just brought in 30 billion in return. That level of profit makes him wonder if he should stop holding back. With performance like this, he begins to seriously consider summoning all 10 guardian beasts in full. As he prepares to move forward with that idea, the system interface activates again. It reveals that the cost of summoning the guardian beasts has now risen to 10 billion won. However, it also reports that the summoning function is currently inactive. Jaehyun is caught off guard by this, surprised that the price has increased so dramatically. As he processes this new information, he looks ahead and sees Oh Eonju standing on top of the defeated Cyclops. The system gives another notification. It confirms that Oh Eonju has completed a quest, and the system displays the reward cost, 324, 576, 089 won. Eonju is seen with tears running down her face, crying quietly as she stands atop the fallen monster, overwhelmed by the emotion and weight of the battle just fought and the victory just earned. A survivor is seen carefully conjures water from the air, using his limited ability to provide at least something to drink. As he performs this small task, his mind is heavy with worry. They have completely run out of food. His powers allow him to create water, but he cannot produce anything to eat. The meat they managed to collect earlier from fighting nearby monsters is nearly gone. This is truly the limit. They have reached a point where staying here any longer is impossible. Eventually, they will be forced to leave this place behind. Just then, a powerful tremor shakes the entire area. The ground rumbles beneath them, nearly causing them to fall over. Dust shakes loose from the ceiling as panic spreads through the group. The man conjuring water looks up, confused and alarmed, trying to understand what is happening. Before he can gather his thoughts, one of the others urgently calls out to him, urging him to come to the rooftop right away. Jun-hyuk rushes toward the top of the building, followed closely by the one who called him. As he reaches the rooftop and looks out, his face changes instantly. His eyes widen in horror. In the distance, a massive Cyclops stands tall, a monstrous figure that dwarfs the buildings around it. The sight fills Jun-hyuk with fear. Without hesitation, he tells the other man to warn everyone and get them to hide in the basement immediately. The man with him, whose name is Hyun-chan, looks around in a panic. His voice shakes as he wonders aloud what they are supposed to do now. But Jun-hyuk cuts him off. There is no solution, nothing they can do. All they can do is hope and pray that the Cyclops doesn't come toward their location. However, before they can even finish processing the danger, their eyes catch a sudden explosion. A massive blast of energy engulfs the Cyclops, lighting up the area with destructive power. The shockwave shakes the rooftop beneath them. Jun-hyuk stands frozen, knowing exactly what this means. He realizes that what they just witnessed was not the work of ordinary people. It is the power of an awakened someone far stronger than he is. someone on an entirely different level. Junhyuk quickly tells Hyunchan to gather everyone together. He doesn't know who this person is, but in a world that has fallen into ruin, where monsters roam freely and safety is a rare luxury, they need to stay close to someone like that if they want to live. Hyunchan hesitates for a moment, unsure if following a stranger is really the right move. But Junhyuk stands firm. They are out of food, out of options, and out of time. They can only rely on instinct and luck now. Others in the group quietly agree. Junhyuk is right. There's no other choice. Soon, the group arrives at a place called Zio LH Complex 2. They move carefully through the ruined streets, with Hyunchan leading the way. As he reaches the front of the complex, he is stunned by what he sees. Despite the chaos of the outside world, this building looks untouched, is clean, orderly, and stands tall like a beacon of safety. Hyunchan approaches the entrance and suddenly bumps his head into an invisible barrier. He steps back in confusion as a system interface appears in front of him. The message is clear. Entry is not allowed. Then the interface offers an alternative. It asks if they would like to obtain citizenship. Without hesitation, the group agrees. The system responds by assigning them a party quest. Their objective is to find Building 114, 30th floor, within a 1-hour time limit. The reward is only a small amount of experience, and there is no penalty for failing. Jaehyun eventually comes face to face with Junhyuk and his group. Junhyuk immediately realizes that Jaehyun must be the one responsible for bringing the giant Cyclops to its knees. Standing in front of him, he feels a heavy pressure, an overwhelming presence that makes his heart race. Despite his nervousness, Junhyuk steps forward and reaches out his hand, offering a respectful handshake. He introduces himself politely, knowing deep down that this is a rare and vital opportunity, one he must never lose. Meanwhile, inside her apartment, Oh Eonju sits at a small table with a young boy. They eat together in quiet warmth. She looks at the boy, Saiwoo, with a gentle smile and watches as he happily enjoys the meal. Saiwoo responds cheerfully, his small voice filled with genuine joy. The seaweed soup, the simple dishes, it all tastes good to him. As they continue eating, it becomes clear that Saiwoo is her son. The boy wonders aloud why there's seaweed soup today, thinking it must be someone's birthday. But Eonju softly explains that it's not a special day. She simply made it because Saiwa likes it. She pulls him into an embrace, her eyes reflecting a deep, quiet affection that goes beyond words. Around that time, Jaehyun steps into the apartment. Eonju greets him and gently asks about the newcomers. Jaehyun nods and explains that everything went well. The new people have been given a place to stay, along with some food. Then he pauses, apologizing that due to unexpected restrictions, they can't leave their home zone. It's not something he intended, but Eonju doesn't seem upset. She replies with calm assurance. For her, just being together like this with her son, in peace is enough. Her face is full of contentment. At that moment, Jaehyun receives a system notification. It says that Eonju's loyalty as a retainer has reached its maximum value, 100. Still, he already knew. Even without the system telling him, he could feel it through her every expression, every word. Her loyalty, her trust, they're already complete. Later, the apartment is filled with quiet laughter. Eonju and Saiwoo play together, their joyful energy bringing life to the space. Jaehyun sits alone on the sofa, watching them. A gentle ache grows in his chest as he begins to think about his own family. He wonders if they are safe, if they're managing to survive in this harsh world, or if something bad may have happened. But he doesn't allow the worry to take over. He reminds himself that it has only been one day. He knows how hard Eonju has worked to make this one peaceful day possible for herself and for Saiwoo. He also knows that Yejin's mouse is currently on its way to his family's house, carrying essential supplies. When it arrives, it will deliver everything they need. And so, Jaehyun decides to stay still. Just for today, he won't rush forward. He chooses to protect this moment, to quietly witness the simple happiness unfolding in front of him. This is the one and only dream Eonju holds dear in today, That dream is shining.